Welcome to another week of Sequeled. I am James.
My name is Blaise.
This is the show where we sequelize a movie that doesn't need one, but we are trying hard to make it a decent, watchable movie.
Or on my case, I'm hardly trying. So
Right, yeah.
You know.
Well, let's just hope I get another writing gig after this. What is a movie that we haven't seen a sequel to, but actually has been been like, what's going on? What are you guys going to do? Are you going to reboot it? Are you going to sequelize it? What's going on? Well, that's what we're here for. Friday the 13th turns 10 years old next year. Yeah, in just a couple months, actually. Thanks, guys, for checking out our Friday the 12th video a couple weeks ago. Appreciate it. But now here we are with Sequeled again. And, all right, it's not turned 10 years old. The remake is turning 10 years old. And there's been talks about doing a sequel to that for a long time. Or we can get a reboot or what's going on. What the hell's happening, Platinum Dunes?
Michael, how do you feel about saying goodbye to Transformers?
Oh, not yet, not yet.
Well, I guess you should just hire me. So where are we going to go with the sequel? Let's just keep it fun and let's just kill some kids as usual.
And I think that's what Platinum Dunes did really well with that remake, was just like, okay, you know who Jason is. He's at Camp Crystal Lake and he's going to kill some teens. That's basically what they did with the remake. And I know a lot of people don't like the remake, but I thought the remake was like what it should have been. Like I thought it was just like a fun like slasher movie.
It still felt like a Friday the 13th movie to me. Maybe not as cheese. It felt like a little more well done. It's just more the comedic. It was more like a kind of known that it was being comedic and stuff. Like they went ahead knowing that it was going to be kind of funny. And this time around, I kind of want to go the same route, but have the kids just really stupid. One of the big inspirations I have for this movie, I'd say, is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. If you haven't seen it,
Who wants to go skinny dipping?
We got your friend!
They captured Allison!
Oh, it's some pancakes. You hate pancakes. I'm gonna make you something else.
I just love how they just how unaware they are of the whole situation, both the kids and Tucker and Dale. Like the kids think that they're crazy redneck serial killers, but you know Tucker and Dale are just on vacation and they think these kids are killing themselves for a suicide pact and stuff. So here I want all these kids to get killed, but these kids are just like, well, all right. Well, I guess obviously like this happened and this happened. Like they're just not accepting that there's a killer on the loose. So I want a bunch of bloggers and Twitch streamers from New York to come out to Crystal Lake during the month of Halloween just to gain more views and traction and stuff. So they're going to be like live streaming and stuff. They're going to be really annoying, like a lot of Twitch people, but there's a lot of annoying Twitchers out there.
PogChamp, bro.
Exactly.
Total
yeah.
poggers.
They're going to be asking for donations and they get a ton of donations after they get murdered and everything.
Ginger Bimbo, because I don't know a famous person. Maybe you guys should get out of these famous people's lives and like.
You're really not that interesting.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You're so kind. Jesus loves you.
They're like reach $1 million, but they die or something.
Sub goals.
like just shit like that, or like
Meet Jason.
Exactly.
$5,000.
And if you don't know what these are, I mean, just go to twitch.tv and just go on whoever's on the homepage.
these aren't going to be like the video gamers though. These are like the IRL streamers.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. Like, because the video gamers, that's what it was intended for, essentially. There could be one of them's a video gamer, one of them's just an exercise person or something that just flexes on screen.
One of the video gamers just has to be fucking going through like withdrawals the whole time, just like fuck, I can't play my game,
Right, yeah.
because he's like out in nature.
There's no Wi-Fi and stuff.
There's no Wi-Fi.
Well, wait, how's
you
he
gotta
streaming?
yeah, we definitely have to have that. But I mean, like, he didn't bring his PC because like they want to like spend time out in the woods.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
he's just like wants to play the whole time. He gets all pissed about it.
I dig it, yeah.
You know.
Some of the kills though, so like one of the things I was thinking, like I'd always wanted to see someone getting shoved into a toilet in a very elaborate death. So one scene, like maybe a couple's having sex in the shower. Jason uses his machete on maybe the girl, and then the guy, he grabs him, and like because he's naked, he just starts shoving him into the toilet and flushes him, and just like he slowly starts spinning and he's like clogging him down into the toilet and everything.
Yeah, I can see that, but I've already seen some pretty good toilet kills even this year in Puppet Master the Littlest, right?
What happened in that again? With the
That guy was
toilet
going to
scene?
the bathroom and then in the toilet, and then he gets decapitated. His head falls into the
Oh,
toilet.
I see. Yeah, that was actually one of the cooler scenes in the otherwise
And he
pretty
was still
shitty movie.
peeing on him.
Yeah.
That movie, that was like the worst kill ever. I was kind of making fun of it because I thought that was gonna be. I know you disliked that movie,
Yeah.
and I thought that would be something that you hated about
Right.
it.
Yeah. No, that scene
kill.
was actually kind of clever. I thought.
Uh-huh.
I just always like was fascinated. Like one of my biggest fears as a kid was like being pulled into the toilet by something. I don't know why I had.
It's
this
the
fear.
Blob. It's from like the original Blob.
Uh-huh.
That's probably where that fear comes. Or
Being
the Blob
sucked in or
comes
something?
out of the toilet.
Oh, okay,
toilet,
yeah.
like while a guy's taking a shit on the toilet.
I did see that movie, and I remember it did scare me as a little kid when I rented it from Blockbuster. And yeah. So yeah, I've always wanted to see that reenacted in an action movie. And what better than a Jason movie? Also, I know this has been done before, but I don't think I've seen it in a Friday the 13th movie. But I want them to, like, some kids will be grilling burgers and stuff. When I say kids, I mean, like, like 19, 20-year-olds and stuff.
Yeah.
They're kids in my eyes because I'm 8 years older than them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I want to see Jason while a kid's grilling burgers, like him smash his face in the grill and cook them well done or something. And, like, what I was mentioning earlier about the kids being stupid, like, they're like, oh, well, he'd been drinking all day and he must have tripped on some like Pam spray oil on the floor.
Like they get so like they
obviously that
go
happened.
so like so wild when it
Yeah.
comes to like their friends are dying around them, but they're like can't be like anything
Yeah.
that's actually real. That's not like all those stories at Camp Crystal Lake were a myth.
Right.
Like there's no way that they're possibly real.
Exactly. Like some kids might have had like freak accidents and stuff. That's what they say. But there's no such thing as Jason. Just a kid did drown and they blame all the murders on Jason. But that was like the first one came out in 1979 or 1981. I know it's one of those dates, but like, that's pushing 30, 40 years old and stuff. So like, yeah.
I think I've added a new character for your movie too.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be one of the kids makes like those shitty documentaries on YouTube that are always narrated by like kids, like Looper, like
Right,
that kind of
yeah.
stuff. Like those are more
Creepypastas.
movie
Yeah.
things, but like it's like a kid who's like, oh yeah, I researched all of and debunked. Like he's like kind of like a flat earther in a way, where he's like
Yeah.
he researched about Camp Crystal like and debunked it all. Like, oh, this is why. Like when you watch like a shitty documentary on YouTube,
Yeah.
and people take it like as if it's like a real documentary.
Right.
Like yeah, I saw a documentary on that, and you're
Right.
like, yeah, what documentary? It's like, oh, it was
Oh.
on YouTube. Like, is that
Cone
a
Bone
documentary?
46. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've made it on YouTube. Yeah.
That's why like people like flat Earth documentaries that just are on YouTube. Like,
uh-huh.
I don't know if you can take those seriously, man. Like,
Right.
where's the validity in that? You know? So I think you should have one of the kids is like a documentarian, but he only makes documentaries on YouTube, and they're about like how Camp Crystal Lake. Maybe he's the one who pitches them go there and do this to like really prove that Jason's not real.
Yeah.
Like kind of take that whole flat earther society and make it all
Right.
about how Jason isn't real and
Yeah.
like these are the reasonings why.
This little movie that'll make you hate millennials and all that. Or
Yeah, it's basically there to make you hate millennials, and Jason is kind of he's aborting these fetuses 20 years later.
Yeah, Jesus. So after we get to see all these millennials finally get murdered and everything, there is going to be, of course, one survivor, the final girl, and I want her to go back home to New York. And I always found it really stupid how Crystal Lake somehow connects to Manhattan.
At the bottom of Crystal Lake is a portal.
Yeah, well, I guess that can work out. I was just gonna make it when she finally gets home, Jason's fucking waiting in the bathroom or something, or like waiting in the living room for her and like kills her. Yeah, and then that sets up the sequel and the version we've always wanted to see. Jason takes Manhattan, where he's actually in Manhattan the whole movie, but we're gonna shoot in Toronto to save money. Though.
Yeah,
Sorry.
definitely.
Yeah,
So you kind of have to the ending to be like, hey, was it Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist where like they go to New York at the very end? Like the last scene's like just in New York because he went to college. Is that the movie that I'm thinking?
no,
of?
they leave New York to
To go somewhere else and they go to college and they meet up. Or am I
think so.
thinking of a different movie? I think I might just altogether be thinking of a different movie. But there's a movie where somebody goes to college and the last scene's just like in New York in their apartment.
Oh, that's Adventureland.
Adventureland.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew it was one of those like teen movies.
Yeah.
So it's basically like that kind of ending where
I
it's just
see.
like the ending's like all of a sudden in New York.
They made it back. They've survived.
It's a good setup. Yeah. It's definitely a good setup. And you just remake Jason Takes Manhattan for the next one, but properly.
Yeah.
You don't have like all the hijinks in that film.
Not all taking place on a boat, but we'll bring back the dog though, because that's the savior of Jason Takes Manhattan.
True.
Yeah. Who would I want to helm this movie? I mean, I've heard multiple podcasts, like on his own podcast on the Movie Crypt, Adam Green, say that he has been offered to like help develop or, you know, work on Friday the 13th. But let's actually get him on board to do it for this one. It's more self-aware, like his Hatchet movies. He's Friday the 13th essentially, or Hatchet is like kind of inspired off of Friday the 13th, and of course with the hiring of Kane Hodder as Victor Crowley. But I want to actually see Adam Green work on this. So if you haven't seen Adam Green's work, like Frozen, not the Disney musical version, but his movie called Frozen about kids getting stuck on a ski lift, check it out. It's a really awesome movie, and the Hatchet franchise is pretty fun too. I've only seen the first and third one of all of them, but yeah. So yeah, that's my idea for where to go with rebooting the Friday the 13th remake, essentially, because we're getting a sequel to it, or even this one could technically still just act on its own. Jason is an entity. He doesn't need a background. He could just still be there, and this could be a restart to the franchise again. So that's what I'm doing for this week's episode of Sequel. Tune in next week. We'll see you guys then.